All right, continuing to track this breaking news, U.S. officials are confirming twin suicide blasts outside the Kabul airport. In fact, we're using Fox News security correspondent information right now to confirm a lot of this information.
All right, so as Travis mentioned, two suicide bombers and gunmen targeting crowds. This is right near the Kabul airport and also at that hotel in Afghanistan. Coming out of Russia this morning, I mean, we're getting updates from all over the globe. Russian officials had said at least 13 people were killed and 15 wounded.
That's right. In fact, the U.S. officials also telling the AP they believe this is some kind of complex attack. They're definitely believing this was carried out by an Islamic State group in Afghanistan, basically made up of disaffected members of the Taliban who hold even more extreme views than the Taliban itself. A Pentagon spokesperson saying the blast happened near the airport entrance, that other very near a hotel as well. So lots of details coming in this morning. Let's turn to Brandi Kruse now, who has been tracking the latest as well this morning. Brandi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. And we've been tracking reaction from our state's congressional delegation. We spoke live just a little bit ago with Congresswoman Kim Schreier of our state. And one of the questions here is, will the president decide to extend the August 31st deadline to withdraw and to get Americans and as many of our allies as possible out of Afghanistan? We don't know yet, but I asked Congresswoman Schreier, a Democrat, about that. Do you believe the president should extend the August 31st deadline for evacuations?
Well, here's what I can tell you, Brandi. I do not believe it is practical to get everybody out who we need to get out before the 31st, especially if our military also has to be out by the 31st. And I can tell you that in a classified briefing to Congress, there was widespread, I might even say unanimous, bipartisan support for extending that deadline because we all feel that that weight of that responsibility to bring our allies home, to bring women diplomats, journalists, special immigrant visa holders home. They stood by us and we need them to be safe. And the reality is that as long as they are there under Taliban control, they are absolutely not safe. So I would like to see that extended. I understand the risks that every day we are there, the risk increases.
Yeah, and that's the concern, is that there really isn't a good path out of it at this point. It's about the president weighing what path would be worse and choosing the other one. You know, we've heard from other members of our state's congressional delegation. Dan Newhouse echoed the sentiments there from Congresswoman Schreier. Dan Newhouse, of course, a Republican. We also heard finally from Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of our state, the Democrat. She said, for 2 decades, we have asked troops serving in our longest war to protect this country and the world. The same is true now as we work to end it. I'm grateful for all those putting their lives on the line, and I'm thinking of their families during this heartbreaking moment. And of course, we know that at least 3 Marines, U.S. Marines, were injured in this blast outside the Kabul airport this morning. And so some sentiments there from Congresswoman Jayapal. Interesting to hear Congresswoman Schreier say that in a closed-door meeting, there was near unanimous consent from Republicans and Democrats that the August 31st deadline needed to be extended, although they all understand that that would come with risks as well. Yeah. But again, I'd reiterate, there is no perfect decision that can be made at this point. It's just the best decision given the circumstances. And that's what the president is, of course, weighing as we wait for the White House briefing.
And we've heard that the president, NBC News just put down a tweet saying that the president is still in the Oval Office and will be briefed for the foreseeable future at this point. I mean, you nailed it here. We're talking about 2 difficult decisions, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 difficult decisions about what happens next here to get people out of this country safely.
Yeah, and of course, you know, there's going to be a lot of talking heads that discuss this could have been avoided, that take issue with the way yeah, exactly. But that's not the most important thing right now. The most important thing is this is the situation we now find ourselves in. How can we get as many Americans out as possible and avoid further bloodshed? So that is an unenviable decision, but that's the decision that you have to make when you're president of the United States.
And will the Taliban cooperate to secure things right now? That seems to me the big thing right now that might make something possible there. And if they don't, and this is all just PR, as you said, then the situation is just honestly untenable.
Exactly. Yep.